You see that little Wi-Fi symbol on your screen? I want you to think of it as the front door to your entire digital life. But what you probably don't realize is just how easy it can be for someone to pick the lock. Let's crack this code together. And, this quote just nails it. It gets right to the heart of this really dangerous assumption that so many of us make. A password isn't some magic shield. If it's weak, it's pretty much like leaving your front door wide open. Anyone can just wander in, steal your internet, spy on your devices, or even worse, use your network to launch attacks. So to really get a handle on this threat, we have to think like an attacker. First, we're going to bust that password myth. Then we'll look at the different levels of Wi-Fi security. We'll peek inside a hacker's toolkit, walk through a very real 4-step attack, and then at the end, I'm going to show you the single most important defense you've got. So, why does any of this even matter? Well, a compromised network isn't just about your neighbors stealing your Netflix. It means an attacker is inside your house, digitally. They're on your home turf. They can see everything you do online. And they can attack any device connected to your network, your laptop, your phone, even your smart TV. It is a total security breakdown. Okay, before we dive into the attack itself, we kind of need to understand the battlefield, because not all Wi-Fi security is created equal, not even close. Some are like paper shields, while others are a lot closer to Fort Knox. Here's the quick breakdown. First, you've got WEP. It's ancient history, completely insecure. WPA was a little step up, but it's also obsolete now. Then there's WPA2, that's the modern standard. This is what most of us are using right now. And finally, WPA3 is the new champion, the most secure option out there, but it's still rolling out. And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? The source material calls WEP a Lego lock. I mean, that's perfect. It looks like a lock, it acts like a lock, but it offers zero real protection. You can snap it apart in seconds. Seriously, if you ever see a network still using WEP, just treat it like it's wide-open public Wi-Fi. So, this is the crucial point. We're focusing on WPA2 today. Why? Well, because it's everywhere. But it has this one fatal flaw. Its entire security, the whole thing, rests on a single password. And if that password is weak, the whole system just comes crashing down. That's exactly why it's the #1 target for attackers. All right, so what does an attacker actually need to pull this off? You might be picturing some crazy room full of supercomputers, but it's not like that at all. It really just comes down to 3 essential things. First, the hardware. They need a special Wi-Fi adapter that can go into monitor mode. This basically turns their laptop into a giant ear that can hear all the Wi-Fi traffic nearby. Second, the tools, a free software suite called Aircrack NG. And third, and this is the secret weapon, a word list. It's just a massive dictionary file filled with millions of common passwords to try. Okay, now we get to the core of it all. We're going to walk through the exact 4-step process an attacker uses to crack a WPA2 password. And this isn't theoretical. This is the real deal. Before we get to the steps, you have to understand this one key concept, the handshake. See, every single time your phone or your laptop connects to a Wi-Fi router, it does this secure 4-way digital hello. The attacker's entire goal is to record this encrypted handshake. Because if they can capture it, they can take it home with them and try to crack it offline, far away from your network where you'd never know. So here's the game plan, the 4 steps. First, they listen. Second, they find a target. Third, they force a device to reconnect so they can capture that precious handshake. And finally, they crack it. Let's see how this looks in practice, one command at a time. Step 1 is simple. This command right here puts their special Wi-Fi adapter into monitor mode. They've just gone from being a normal user to a passive eavesdropper, able to see everything happening in the air around them. Next up, this command scans the airwaves. It's like a radar sweep, and it instantly shows every single Wi-Fi network in range, its security type, and, most importantly, if anyone is already connected to it. Now, this part is really clever. An attacker doesn't want to just sit around and wait for someone to connect. So they use this command to send out what's called a de-authentication packet. Think of it like a little digital shove that briefly kicks a device off the network. Of course, that device immediately tries to reconnect, performing a brand new handshake right when the attacker is listening. It's brilliant and a little terrifying. And this is the final step. The attacker now has a file, capture.cap, that contains that encrypted handshake. They feed this file into the cracking tool, along with their word list. The program then just starts hammering away, rapidly testing every single password in that list, sometimes millions of them, against the captured handshake. And boom! If the network's password is in that word list, the program will find it. In this case, Dragonfly87. The lock is broken, the attacker is in. Okay, I know, seeing that might be a little unsettling. But here's the good news. Understanding the attack is the absolute first step to building a powerful defense. So let's talk about how you lock that digital front door properly. The single biggest upgrade you can make is moving to WPA3. Here's the fundamental difference. With WPA2, an attacker can record that handshake. It's like taking a photograph of your lock. They can take it home and study it for as long as they want. WPA3 completely changes the rules. Each connection is unique, which basically makes that photograph useless. That offline attack we just saw, it becomes impossible. So here are your 2 key actions. First, check if your router and your devices support WPA3. If they do, turn it on. It is the single best defense, period. But since not everything supports it yet, your second action is to create a truly strong password for your WPA2 network. I'm talking long, random, and unique, something that would never, ever appear in one of those word lists. You know, the biggest thing to take away from all this is that hacking Wi-Fi isn't magic. It's not some dark art. It's a method. It's a step-by-step process. And the great news is, anything that can be broken with a method can be protected with a better one. So it all comes down to this one simple question. You wouldn't use a cheap, flimsy lock on the front door to your actual house, right? So take a look at your digital front door and make sure the lock you're using is one you can actually trust.